Today's episode is sponsored by Midwest Fire. For more than 20 years, Midwest Fire has been manufacturing high-quality tankers, tanker pumpers, and fire rescue vehicles in the United States and Canada. Keeping firefighters safe while enhancing their capabilities is what they do best. To learn more, go to MidwestFire.com.
This is Captain Dave Martin, Health and Safety Officer for Yakima County Fire District 5, and you are listening to the SA Matters radio show with Dr. Rich Gasaway. The SA Matters mission is simple. They want to help us see the bad things coming in time to avoid bad outcomes.
Hello, and welcome to episode 92 of the Situational Awareness Matters radio show. I'm your host, Rich Gasaway. The purpose of this show is to improve situational awareness and decision-making for individuals and teams who work in high-risk, high-consequence environments. The SA Matters mission is simple, to help you see the bad things coming in time to avoid bad outcomes. I'm coming to you today from Columbia, South Carolina, where I'm in town to deliver the closing keynote address for the South Carolina Firefighters Association Fire Service Improvement Conference. The keynote is titled, Creating the Thinking Firefighter. Here's the description. This powerful keynote address discusses how shortfalls in firefighter training are contributing to catastrophic outcomes. Many instructors tell firefighter students what to do instead of teaching their students the process for making high-risk, high-consequence decisions under stress. Specific firefighter training examples will be used to demonstrate both how our training is failing to create thinking firefighters and the real-world consequences of these shortcomings. Solutions will be offered that ensure firefighters are trained to perform realistically based on real-world decision-making environments they operate in. Did the message achieve the objective? Let me share with you some of the feedback that I received following that keynote address. This one comes by way of email from the Chief of the Belmont Fire Department, Anthony Seegers. Good afternoon, Dr. Gasaway. It was a pleasure sitting in your lecture yesterday. The content of the lecture with the videos really gives the audience, at least me, that true aha moment. The subject matter is something we think about on a daily basis in our line of work. However, the presentation was that of an instructor that genuinely cares, and it shows in every word that came out of your mouth. Your presentation style and audience engagement were phenomenal. I've had the pleasure to listen to all the quote-unquote superstars of our profession at the FDIC and other major conferences, and without a doubt, I took more from the few hours I spent in that room with you than from any other lecture I've had the pleasure to sit through. You, my friend, are at the top of the superstar list. Keep up the great work, and I look forward to bringing you to the Greenville area in the near future. Signed, Chief Anthony Seegers. Well, Chief, thank you for counting me among the superstars. I sincerely appreciate that feedback. I'm not sure that I see myself in the superstar category, but I certainly welcome the feedback. Let me share some more. So here's some feedback from Facebook. Marcus Solomon. A huge thanks to Dr. Rich Gasaway for his presentation on creating thinking firefighters at the South Carolina Fire Improvement Conference 2016. To that, T.N. Griffith said, excellent job. And we have feedback from Dan Iggleman, said, great class, right on target. And from Twitter, Brian, who is his Twitter handle was at SCFireRecruiter. Thanks at SA Matters for redirecting our firefighting thoughts and actions. You are creating thinking firefighters. And Tion, at am_I_dreaming_SC says, at SA Matters, excellent presentation in Columbia today, brother. Thank you. And Robert Hoffman at Firemedic 2616_M. SA Matters, good information that needs to be used and practiced by everyone. So, I got a lot of feedback on the program. Really nice, positive feedback. The folks in the program were really connected on social media. Posted lots of pictures, lots of comments. You can check them out at SA Matters or at Rich Gasaway on Twitter or on my Facebook feed. It was just an incredible day of learning. The program was very interactive, and we had a lot of fun with it. So thanks to the South Carolina Firefighters Association and Ashley Bolton for the invite to come and do the keynote. I appreciate it so much. This is the second time the South Carolina Firefighters Association has invited me to deliver a keynote address, and I'm very thankful for your faith and confidence in my message and the invitation to return back to the great state of South Carolina. I also got the opportunity to serve as the moderator for a panel discussion of fire service leaders, where we were taking on some of the most important issues facing the South Carolina Fire Service. I had a lot of fun with that, and there was obviously a lot of experience and a lot of wisdom on that panel. I learned a lot from them. Thank you for that opportunity as well. In the feature segment today, we're going to discuss the situational awareness lessons learned from a tragic double line-of-duty death at a fire in San Francisco. Before we jump into our feature segment, I have one announcement, and I want to take a moment to honor and thank those agencies who've hosted recent Situational Awareness Matters tour stops, and to announce the scheduled upcoming tour stop locations. First, the announcement. We did it! We did it! We reached a milestone! Woohoo! Sound the trumpets. Maybe not. But I'm excited. I track the numbers of the people who attend SA Matters tour stop programs, and in January we surpassed the 50,000 mark for the number of first responders trained on situational awareness and high-risk decision-making. I'm feeling pretty darn good about that. Yay! Okay, enough celebration. Time to get back to work. I want to take a moment to thank the departments and the organizations that hosted some recent Situational Awareness Matters tour stop events. Your efforts to bring this valuable and powerful training on situational awareness and high-risk, high-consequence decision-making to the members of your department and others in your region are greatly appreciated. Recent tour stops included the Munhall Volunteer Fire Bureau in Munhall, Pennsylvania, the Peters Township Fire Department in McMurray, Pennsylvania, the Savage Fire Department in Savage, Minnesota, the Utah Winter Fire School in beautiful St. George, Utah, the Iosco County Firefighters Association Winter Conference in East Tawas, Michigan, and of course where I am now at the South Carolina Firefighters Association Improvement Conference in Columbia, South Carolina. If you're interested in joining me for an upcoming Situational Awareness Matters tour stop, on February 1 and 2, I will be at the Alaska Fire Chiefs Association Conference in Juneau, Alaska. February 6th at the Enfield Fire Department in Enfield, Connecticut. February 7th at the Ellesmere Fire Department in Delmar, New York. And then I'm going to do a little mini tour around Minnesota. February 9th, I'll be in Grand Rapids, Minnesota. February 10th in Eveleth, Minnesota. February 11th in Lutsen, Minnesota. February 16th at the West Metro Fire Department in Minnesota. February 17th, the Windham Fire Department in Minnesota. February 18th, the Tracy Fire Department in Minnesota. then back on the road. February 25th, the Addison Fire Department in Addison, Texas. February 26th to 28th, the NSA Winter Conference in Austin, Texas. March 1, at the Los Angeles County Fire Department Fire Officer Conference. March 3, the Howard County Fire Department in Maryland. March 4 and 5, the Toms River Fire Department in New Jersey. March 8th, the Maryland Fire and Rescue Institute National Fire Service Staff and Command Program. March 18th, the Center for Public Safety Excellence Conference in Orlando, where I'll be delivering the closing keynote address for that conference. March 19th, the Minnesota State Fire School in Alexandria. I'll be delivering the keynote there. March 21 to 25, a Company Officer Development Institute program in Columbus, Indiana. March 22, the Madison County LEPC in Indiana. March 24, Scott Township Fire Department in Indiana. March 26th and 27th, another Company Officer Development Institute program in Fort Wayne, Indiana. And March 31, Community Fire Department in Houston, Texas. Wow, I better put on my running shoes. It's going to be a busy spring, and for that, I'm very thankful. Very, very thankful. If you're interested in attending an upcoming Situational Awareness Matters tour stop, head over to the SA Matters website. Click on the blue box on the right side of the homepage labeled Upcoming Event Schedule. Here's hoping there's a tour stop near you and we'll get a chance to meet up. More than 500 agencies on 4 continents have hosted a Situational Awareness Matters tour stop event. Has your agency? No? What are you waiting on? Waiting on a near miss or a casualty? Don't wait. Get your program scheduled. If you're interested in hosting a 2016 tour stop for your department or association, just go to the website, samatters.com, click on the Contact Me button at the top of the homepage, and we'll get something set up for you. Here's a tip how you can host a program at a reduced cost. I schedule many what I call companion programs. These are programs on adjoining days to other programs that I'm doing. So if you see that I'm delivering a program within a couple hours of where your department is, and you think you might want to tag along as a companion, contact me. You can save as much as 20% off the program costs by being a companion to an existing program. You may recall from the start of the show that this is episode 92. That means that we're going to reach another milestone soon, when we reach episode 100. In the podcasting world, that's a big deal. Very few podcasters have the tenacity to keep podcasting after just a few episodes. One of the reasons for this is there is such very little feedback that comes back to the podcaster, so they really don't know who's listening or if anyone's getting any benefit from their show. It's extremely rare for anyone to take the time to go to my website and click on the Contact Me link and send me any feedback about the podcasts. If you feel so compelled, go on. Do it. I dare you. I'd love to hear from you. I do, however, get lots of feedback during the live events about the podcast, and that's what drives me to keep the content coming to you every week. Your feedback really does inspire me to work harder. Really, it does. Thank you to those who've taken the time to send me an email or to post something on my social media feed. If you want to know where you can find me on social media, just visit the SA Matters website. There are tabs for how to get connected with me on Twitter and Facebook and LinkedIn. You can also sign up to receive notifications every time a new blog article goes up or every time a new podcast is posted. You can get a notification. You can also sign up for a free newsletter on the website that I send out every month. Okay, final thing before we jump into the feature segment on situational awareness lessons learned from a double line of duty death incident. I want to take just a moment to share a message from our sponsor, Midwest Fire, and their president, Sarah Atchison.
Hi, I'm Sarah Atchison, owner of Midwest Fire Equipment and Repair. We are proud to sponsor Dr. Gasaway's Situational Awareness Matters podcast. We share a passion for saving lives and have been working with firefighters to customize cost-effective, multi-purpose fire trucks since 1987. Our trucks are engineered and built to serve you and your community for decades. We would like to invite you and your department to fight fire with Midwest Fire. Visit MidwestFire.com to see our apparatus capabilities and recent deliveries. Start a conversation with us through the live chat feature, and we will return a solution to meet your department's needs. Thank you and enjoy the podcast.
Thank you, Sarah Atchison, and all the staff at Midwest Fire for your awesome commitment to improving first responder safety. I sincerely appreciate your support of my mission. And now, our feature segment on 5 situational awareness lessons learned from a double line of duty death. On June 2nd, 2011, the San Francisco Fire Department suffered a tragic loss of 2 firefighters at 133 Berkeley Way. The department conducted an internal review of the incident and issued a 156-page report of their findings. Many of the lessons related to situational awareness, and it is from that perspective that I would like to share my assessment on several of their findings. I dedicate this podcast to the lives of Lieutenant Vincent Perez and firefighter paramedic Anthony M. Valerio, and I applaud the San Francisco Fire Department for conducting an internal review and for sharing your findings with the fire service so that we may all learn from your tragedy. I'm not a Monday morning quarterback. In fact, I have great disdain for those who judge the performance of others after the fact and make derogatory statements about the performance of personnel at incidents when they have no right to be that judge and jury. I have written over 350 articles on the SA Matters website that support the advice that I'm going to offer here. This is not about San Francisco Fire Department, but general observations and advice about how to develop, maintain, and improve situational awareness. I can say with confidence that my advice is not specific to San Francisco Fire Department in this incident. Rather, it is generically applied for the benefit of all emergency services organizations. There are 25 recommendations contained in the San Francisco report. For the sake of brevity, I'm only addressing 5 of them here. The format I'm going to use for this review is a list of the recommendation, followed by the circumstances that gave rise to that recommendation, if they provided it, followed by my advice for improving situational awareness. I hope you find this format helpful. Report recommendation number 1. Incident commanders should ensure that when a company and or personnel have not responded to several radio attempts, immediate steps should be taken to deploy resources to locate the company/personnel. Engine 26 was called via radio multiple times with no response. At one time, the incident commander thought Engine 26 responded. However, this could not be verified. The safety investigation team, after careful review of audio tapes, discovered that it was Battalion 6 looking for Engine 26. The ICS Manual Section 2-6 states, should a situation occur where a latter arriving company or chief officer cannot locate or communicate with command after several radio attempts, they should assume and announce their assumption of command and initiate whatever actions are necessary to confirm the safety of the missing crew. Accountability is fundamental to situational awareness. Knowing your crew size, crew quality, crew location, their actions and progress at all times is important to developing and maintaining command level situational awareness. If a crew cannot be reached by radio, the assumption should be that the crew is in trouble. The commander should avoid assumptions that may include that the crew didn't hear the radio, or the crew was too busy to reply to the radio call, or the crew's radio wasn't working properly. The more the latter list of reasons are assumed multiple times at fires when radio traffic goes unanswered, the more it will be assumed that one of these explanations is why a company cannot be reached while the circumstances are dire. To develop and maintain command-level situational awareness, the person in charge should be in a fixed location, hands-off from task-level duties, and located remotely enough to see a big picture of the clues in the cues. A company officer or chief officer involved in task-level activities can develop and maintain task-level situational awareness, but cannot develop and maintain incident-wide situational awareness. Report recommendation number 2. The incident support specialist shall initiate an incident command worksheet immediately and begin tracking all resources. An accurately completed Fireground Incident Command worksheet should assist in the transfer of command. The investigation found that the initial incident support specialist's incident command worksheet did not have the location and assignments of all assigned resources. An incident worksheet plays a critical role in developing and maintaining situational awareness. Specifically, the worksheet helps to manage memory, and memory is extremely fragile under stress. The amount of information that you can take in, process, and recall is very limited and decreases as a result of stress. Writing important information down helps the commander manage and have ready access to it. If the information is not written down, it can be extremely challenging for the commander or their aide to reconstruct it later as the incident becomes more complex or more stressful. This fact was validated during my research on situational awareness, where numerous commanders told me that they did not use worksheets right from the beginning and they fell behind and never got caught up. Look at how your department uses worksheets now to help manage information. If you have worksheets but do not use them regularly, you may be vulnerable to the same situation. If you only use a worksheet at a quote-unquote big incident, you may also be vulnerable when incidents start small and then progress into big incidents. Report recommendation number 3. All companies operating on the incident scene must keep the incident commander updated when changing from one location to another. The ISS tracking resources on the SFFD Incident Command worksheet must ensure this information is documented. For example, Engine 65 moving from the second floor to the third floor. Battalion 9 fire attack changed point of entry for fire attack from the interior stairs to making entry from the Bravo side. This was not reflected on the Incident Command worksheet. Personnel operating in dynamic environments can overlook critically important information and miscommunicating their location to the accountability officer. When crews routinely move freely about inside an IDLH environment, especially floor to floor, without informing command of their movements, the crews are putting themselves in jeopardy of command not being able to mobilize rescue resources in a timely fashion if something goes wrong. So long as incidents remain small and uncomplicated, this kind of tracking will seem like overkill and will be subject to criticism by personnel who dismiss the value of tracking their location when they don't appear to be in jeopardy in any way. Look at how your organization tracks personnel movement inside of all IDLH environments. It is a best practice to ensure accountability to include crew size, location, task being performed, and progress at all times. If this is only done at large incidents, then there is a risk that it will not be done at an incident that starts small and progresses in complexity. Recommendation number 4. The incident commander should use all available resources to increase his or her situational awareness during an incident. The safety investigation team found that the incident commanders were presented with significant challenges in gaining critical information such as the building layout, the location/extent of the fire. The incident commanders made several attempts to acquire this information by contacting the building occupant, as well as attempting to contact the companies operating at the scene. The use of all available resources, including incident support specialists if available, should assist in gathering the information to increase situational awareness. Geography played a role in limiting the commander's ability to complete a thorough size-up. A structure built on a steep hillside, as this one was, is going to limit the ability to complete a 360-degree size-up. This hampers situational awareness because the first step in developing situational awareness is capturing clues and cues, being perceptive of your environment. If the clues and cues cannot be captured, the second level of situational awareness is likely to be flawed, and that is comprehending the situation that you're dealing with. This, in turn, is likely to flaw the third level of situational awareness, being able to predict future outcomes. The recommendation to use support resources to gather information is important. Gathering information from an occupant can also be beneficial, but my experience has shown that the reliability of their information is limited because of the stress that they are under. The Google map on page 20 of the report appeared to indicate an unobstructed view of the rear of the building, the Charlie side of the incident, as it was not possible to see from Berkeley Way. Absent the availability of quality information, the commander was left with no choice but to assume certain data based on what clues and cues were present or absent, supported by training and past experience. The problem is assumptions can be wrong, and the consequences can be significant. Better to validate assumptions and intuition with facts. Recommendation number 5. Crews on the fireground should update the incident commander when they're unable to complete an assignment due to a change in conditions or events. Engine 24 and Rescue Squad 1 were unable to make entry through the garage due to extreme heat and smoke conditions. While the incident commander was able to see Engine 24 and Rescue 1 exiting from the garage, the incident commander was never informed that the conditions that prevented Engine 24 and Rescue 1 from entering the house through the garage was the deterioration of the conditions. The ICS Manual Section 3-9 states, "Command must be advised immediately of significant changes, particularly those involving the ability or inability to complete an objective, hazardous conditions, accidents, structural collapse, etc." The lack of updates and progress reports is one of the barriers to situational awareness that I speak frequently about in the 50 Ways to Kill a First Responder program. What I found out during my research into near-miss and casualty reports, supported by my interviews with first responders, is progress and update reports are not always provided, even when sharing the information could be critical to developing and maintaining the situational awareness of the incident commander. When I asked interior crews why they did not give reports of deteriorating conditions, astoundingly they said, if the conditions are that bad on the inside, then the commander on the outside should be able to see it from their position on the exterior. Personnel who operate predominantly inside IDLH environments have little frame of reference about how things can look on the outside because they're always on the inside. This can lead to flawed assumptions. If an interior crew reports deteriorating conditions on the inside and the commander sees a situation that does not look bad from the outside, the information should fly a big red flag for the commander. It cannot be assumed from either position, inside or outside, that the personnel can infer the conditions encountered. They must be communicated. When an interior crew exits the building because of deteriorating conditions and does not report those conditions to command because it is assumed the commander knows why the crew came out, the crew and the commander do not have shared situational awareness, although they may think that they do. If you've experienced or witnessed a near miss and would like to have a platform to share your lessons learned with others, please contact me by visiting the SAMatters.com website and clicking on the Contact Us link on the right side of the homepage. Think about it for a moment. The lessons learned from your near-miss event could actually save the life of another first responder. That's powerful. If you want to share your experience, contact me. If you haven't subscribed to the SA Matters radio podcast yet, please take a moment to go over to iTunes or Stitcher Radio and subscribe. And while you're there, consider leaving some feedback about the show. And if you like the show, give it a 5-star review. This is really important because it inspires me to work hard for you. A lot of time and effort goes into producing, recording, and editing a podcast show and lining up the guests, and your feedback lets me know that you appreciate the show. In case you haven't heard, I recently released the 3rd book in the Situational Awareness Matters series. This book contains critical lessons for improving situational awareness and high-risk decision-making. If you want a copy, go over to the SA Matters website and click on the store link, or go to Amazon.com. If you know of a business that might be interested in supporting the Situational Awareness Matters mission with a sponsorship, I'm seeking a few select sponsors to help offset the cost of running the website, the social media, the podcast, the YouTube channel, the monthly newsletter, and all the other free content. The website has enjoyed over 1 million visits, and those visitors have downloaded over 4 million pages of content. We post a new blog article every Friday. Our Situational Awareness Matters newsletter is distributed to thousands of first responders each month, and the podcast that you're listening to has new episodes that come out every Tuesday and have had over 85,000 downloads. So if you know of a business that would like to get their message in front of my visitors, subscribers, and supporters, ask them to contact me through the SA Matters website by clicking on the Contact Us link on the homepage. Here's hoping we can pick up an additional sponsor or two to help keep this great content coming to you for free. And a huge thank you to our current sponsor and only sponsor, Midwest Fire, for renewing your commitment to our mission by signing on to sponsor the podcast for another year. If you're not a member of the SA Matters community of learners, please consider joining. There are over 5,000 members connected on SA Matters, sharing ideas about how to improve situational awareness and improve high-risk decision-making and help members be critical thinkers and resilient problem solvers. Membership is FREE free. And when you sign up, I'll send you a special report that I've created for new members called 25 Best Practices for Improving First Responder Safety. If you're not a member yet, head over to SA Matters website, click on the red box on the right side of the homepage. It says free membership. If you want to get connected with me on social media, you can follow @RichGasaway or @SA Matters on Twitter. The SA Matters Twitter community is fast approaching 17,000 followers of our mission. So thanks to everybody who's connected with me there. On Facebook, you can join our private SA Matters Facebook page. It's free too. To do that, go to facebook.com/groups/SA Matters. There's an enticement to join the Facebook group. There's a 50% coupon off on my latest book in the private Facebook group. That'll save you $20. Well, that's it. Episode 92 is complete. Thank you to our podcast sponsor, Midwest Fire. Check them out, MidwestFire.com. Thank you to all of our live event hosts. And thank you to our listeners for sharing some of your valuable time with me today. I really appreciate your support of the SA Matters mission. Be safe out there, and may the peace of the Lord and strong situational awareness be with you always.
You've been listening to the Situational Awareness Matters radio show with Dr. Richard B. Gasaway. If you are interested in learning more about situational awareness, human factors, and decision-making under stress, visit samatters.com. If you are interested in booking Dr. Gasaway for an upcoming event, visit his personal website at richgasaway.com.